in the top 5.
And the bill it's incredible. Like, obviously it's the trade, but obviously it's Steph Curry. I mean, for a team, can they make the play-in? We were talking about now, like you said. I mean, to hear you say possibly 3-4 with the talent in the West and the way those teams are playing, and this also just individually. People talk about Steph being a guy that can go out and lead and still take over a basketball game at his age. He didn't have a field goal last time he went in Memphis.
Yeah.
That was individually saying, let me show you guys. I think you thought you shut me down. I'm going to send a message and win the game. I can go get 50-something and win the game. They are a scary team right now because I think, other than matching up against somebody like a Joker with size in the front court or at the center spot, everybody else should be scared to play them.
Performance improving Golden State to 18.
And Jimmy leaving.
Total team effort, but when you get 52, Steph Curry, I mean, wow. What another performance improving Golden State to 18-2 with him and Jimmy Butler in the lineup. They have surged up the standings. Remember, at one point, was it a New Year? They were in the play-in.
Yes.
We were looking at them like, oh my God, they're not going to make the play-in. And now, Jimmy Butler.
And Jimmy leaving.
Total team effort, but when you get 52, Steph Curry, I mean, wow. What another performance improving Golden State to 18-2 with him and Jimmy Butler in the lineup. They have surged up the standings. Remember, at one point, was it a New Year? They were in the play-in.
Yes.
We were looking at them like, oh my God, they're not going to make the play-in. And now, Golden State could challenge for 3-4. I mean, they're 2 games back, but in a great spot right now, right? In the top 5.
And the bill it's incredible. Like, obviously it's the trade, but obviously it's Steph Curry. I mean, for a team, can they make the play-in? We were talking about now, like you said. I mean, to hear you say possibly 3-4 with the talent in the West and the way those teams are playing, and this also just individually. People talk about Steph being a guy that can go out and lead and still take over a basketball game at his age. He didn't have a field goal last time he went in Memphis.
Yeah.
That was individually saying, let me show you guys. I think you thought you shut me down. I'm going to send a message and win the game. I can go get 50-something and win the game. They are a scary team right now because I think, other than matching up against somebody like a Joker with size in the front court or at the center spot, everybody else should be scared to play them.
Now, Nabil, now check this out for a second. If you're a Laker fan, you're saying Luka and LeBron can get us there. We believe in the 2 walking triple-doubles, makes everyone around them better. That's what great players do. But we're questioning, is Jackson Hayes enough, right? We're in love with Steph Curry. Now, think about it. Looney's getting a little older. Post, we don't know what Post really like. The Warriors don't have a lot of bigs either. But we believe in organized chaos with Steph and all the movement and running around. And Jimmy has fit in seamless. The Joker is getting 61, 10, and 10, but we don't believe in their bench. That's your 3, 4, and 5 position in the West. So how do we compartmentalize that? Which team you believe in the most, knowing that you have to have some bigs to protect the paint and rim protect to go deep into the playoffs? But you're not questioning LeBron, you're not questioning Steph, you're not questioning the Joker. So the question is, which bench or which depth do you believe in that can really be serious in the Western Conference?
Yes, answer that question for me. Who is that?
Maybe the Warriors, because of how they play. And can Steve Kerr really lock in and play this defense? Of those 3 teams, I would probably say the Warriors may, despite a little bit, but then the Lakers showed us they can do it. They just haven't done it much lately.
Yeah, and I think veterans, gritty, the 3 guys, Jimmy, Draymond, and Steph, winners.
Yes.
Winners. So, I mean, I would lean to the Lakers and the Warriors, but when you start talking about chemistry, been there and fitting in, and then I supporting cast, Kuminga, they have some guys, and Gary Payton Jr., all those little pieces, and they are used to playing small.
Right.
It's not like they've lost a big guy. They're used to playing small. I would give the Lakers an edge because they have Luka and LeBron, but it's Lakers A, Warriors B as far as the 2 teams in the West. other than OKC, I would be really, really afraid of.
And Lakers fan, I'm sorry, I don't want to shortchange Austin Reeves because he's been playing lights out basketball too. So if those three guys are playing the way they are playing, now the pressure's not on them. Like Shaq says across the hall, it's the others' pressure. Vando, can you make shots? You know, guys like that when the lights are really bright, they're going to say, you know what, LeBron and Luka, we know you can beat us, so the ball's out of your hands. Can they beat us? I'm not sure of that.
Just want to go back to the fact that they're 18-2 since with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. Why does that work so well? Why is Jimmy just fit in so naturally with this team?
Because he's reminding us his basketball IQ is on a high level. Like the conversation we had earlier in the show, certain guys don't need a lot of practice time. You need a lot of togetherness time where you're watching film, your walkthroughs, things of that nature. When you're on the plane, guys now all looking at iPads, looking at plays and stuff. That communication sometimes is so valuable. You don't need to beat each other's body up to understand where you like to be on the floor. And Smitty said earlier, Jimmy and Draymond don't have a problem saying, hey, Draymond, I like being over there. Hey, we know Draymond has saying, Jimmy, get your butt over there because we like to do this. We like to double team here. That's not an issue with the Warriors or communication. That's another reason why they're 18-2.
I think they've always struggled with points in the paint. Yep. Even though it's not a center, all of that highlight was Jimmy points in the paint.
That's where he does his business.
That's where he does the mid-range, elbow in. They need that to collapse the defense, and obviously in half court, we'd all chasing Steph around the three-point line. Now you have to worry about a guy inside, and then you got the ultimate point guard in Draymond Green. I'm calling him a point guard because if you make a mistake, he's going to make you pay. And then you got two guys, and Draymond has found this energy and saying it publicly and then doing it. I want to be Defensive Player of the Year. So now the job I thought he did on Giannis was unbelievable, so about a week or so ago. And now you got two guys that want to get after it. And you got two grimy grit guys. This is a tough team, and Kuminga's still young legs with Steph. Steph draws two like Shaq. Different type of draw too, right?
Yep.
With Kuminga quickly here too, I mean, him and Jimmy, it's a small sample size because Kuminga was hurt, but they haven't really fit on the court that well. Offensive efficiency hasn't been great.
He's the other side. Kuminga needs practice. He's a young guy. He needs rhythm. He needs continuity. So that's the flip side where some guys need to be out there on the floor. They need to be, a part of the flow of the practice, if you will, so now it can translate to the game. So it may take a couple more games before he really, really locks in and on the same page with everyone else.
Yeah, he could be a huge piece again for them in the playoffs. For the Morrison family to get involved with this and make it such a big thing, where family kind of meets business in a sense, I mean, I think it's really special.
It is. Not only is special, 3D in the build, the NBA always knows they do the right thing and they understand how to blow it up, bring the awareness. I have several people in my family with autism. You just love it. I mean, it warms my heart to see this kind of acknowledgement and obviously the press that we'll get and obviously the funds that will be raised. So kudos to all involved and looking forward to see how much money they raise.
Yeah. And once again, basketball brings us all together.
Yes.
So we talk about Christmas Day, talk about Thanksgiving Day, think about all the different holidays, Easter. But this is something now that the NBA has done for so many years that we can say, Mom, Dad, let's put the ball down for a second. Let's come together, and it's all about the kids.
Yeah, it's a great platform. Again, May 13th to 20th is when the auction goes up. Those sneakers are obviously fire, too.
Can we get in the auction? Can we hop in the auction, try
Absolutely.
to get some? Okay, all right.
Find out which coaches win.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be interesting, too, which coaches were wearing what. That's right. Great time of year. You talk about attention. I mean, right now, the East is starting to shake out a little bit as far as the bottom, as far as the play-in is concerned. We still got movement in the top six, and then the West is still kind of crazy. Phoenix still kind of hanging around. But, I mean, when you're looking at these right now, what are you looking at as you go into each morning? When you're taking a look at the standings, what's the first thing you're looking at? What kind of race
for me, from Detroit, how the Pistons has definitely weathered this storm while Cade Cunningham has been out. I mean, I thought they would probably slip a little bit more 3D. They have a slight chance to have home court, and Cade has missed numerous games. I like the way they're playing. And then, obviously, my next hot take 3D, I've been going flip-flopping back and forth. SGA is my MVP today.
Right.
Even with the 61, SGA is my MVP.
Just going to say, even after the 61.
It makes you think that it's minute.
He did. I think you will.
Think about it. 30, 20, 20, and then 60, 10, and 11.
Yes.
Now, the fact that Nikola Jokic has missed some time recently, does that factor into the decision at all or no?
I've been flip-flopping. I've been SGA for a long time, and then I went not even on air. We were in Denver, and I said, maybe co-MVP. Today I say SGA, and boy, Joker was like, okay, Schmidt.
Career high 61
Yes.
for him.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Now, to answer that question for me, I'm in the West.
Okay.
I'm looking with the Lakers when they make the big trade for Luka. Everyone's going crazy. They play well. Then reality kicks in. Now they who we thought they'd be, right? At the middle, maybe the bottom defensively because they don't have a lot of, size down low. Now look at Memphis. They fired their coach. Ja's been in and out of the lineup. Triple J's an all-star. Then they're slipping. And then last but not least, your boy, Ant-Man. That show he put on the other night is like, can Minnesota find that defensive prowess they had last year? That's the key, because offensively they can score with the best of them. But can they stop people like they were last year? And then maybe you take Minnesota a little bit more seriously that they can make some noise in the playoffs. So I'm stuck on the West right now for me every morning.
When you look at the West, too, Houston about a month ago, they were really starting to dip, and you're like, oh, my God, they might drop into the play-in.
Right.
They've shot right back up. They got healthier.
There it is.
And Memphis,
there it is.
Memphis now could be in the play-in. Again, a huge win for Minnesota the other day. The Clippers are right there. We know they're getting healthy. We've seen Kawhi starting to look a lot more like Kawhi. 6, 7, 8, right? That's going to be a real great race.
The point you bring up, Ms. Smitty, I want you to see if you agree with this. You don't want to question Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy for a 7-game series. And James Harden now is reminding us why he called himself the system. We laughed at it 2 years ago because he wasn't giving the effort on the defensive end.
Yep.
I haven't heard anyone, any broadcast, any announcer saying James Harden not playing hard and giving the effort because Jeff Van Gundy and Ty Lue are keeping him accountable. So them in the playoffs, Smitty, it'd be kind of Zubats, like Clippers are sneaky scary because they're going to play defense.
Listen what 3D's saying. Just say if Kawhi was healthy.
Right.
And 15 more games, like 15 extra. I would say they are 3 games out of close to being in third. Yeah. They could have easily won 3 or 4 more games.
Yep.
That's a tribute to James Harden, to Norman Powell, Zubac, that entire roster, but more importantly, T. Lue and his coaching staff. They always keep them afloat.
I heard this on a podcast today, and somebody put it out there that James Harden is now one of the more underrated players in the league, which is kind of crazy to think about from where he has been to kind of his ascension into now his transition, and he's underappreciated.
I think he had those 2 or 3 years where he was quote-unquote chubby. He wasn't playing defense. He wasn't giving that effort on both ends of the floor. That's why you read what you read, because you've seen him be the top of the top, and then he had a little lull, and now we thought he might have been out the league. See, that's the part of the thing about our league. We kind of say, wait a minute, a year ago we were questioning James Harden. But just in one quick year, we're no longer questioning him. And that's the fun part for me, to watch guys change that narrative about themselves on the court.
Yeah, and I totally agree, like you said in the bill. And what 3D says, coaching matters, and not just X's and O's. We know T. Lue very well.
Yes.
He believes in T. Lue. T. Lue believes in him. Right. And I also think sometimes it matters. When you go home, if 3D went back to the DMV,
oh, man.
I'm just telling you, you're going to put a little bit more effort.
Size red grass. No, can swim. Look at the boy. Look at the boy.
Look at the boy?
Yeah. Did you see that boy? The boy is walking. She's waiting for Shiny.
Wait, the cross.